our time to check. That you cannot defeat directly. One thing you do is to befriend them. And then when you befriend them, then you begin to recruit them. And when you recruit them, you want to live up to their pleasure, up to their expectation, things that they like. And then you start to give it to them. And then you start to make them to feel happy about themselves. That is what's happening in CDC today. Don't take my word for it. Just keep the video. Y'all know me. Y'all guys seen most of my video before in the past. But exactly what I'm telling you guys, by 2023, y'all will say Randy said it. And y'all will go for this video. And y'all will try to show it. So let me say this to you again. If your opponent cannot defeat you directly, he or she will come to you and befriend you. And when that friendship is connected, they will start to recruit friends while they are with you. And then one thing they will start to do, they will start to put in place measures that will give those people the opportunity to believe in themselves that indeed what is happening is the right thing to do. Let me move the camera over here. All right? The name COP. Does that name make sense to be part of CDC? Don't CDC have the youth wing? Why would somebody come from, can the Chinese bring their military name into the United States Army? Can the AFL come and join the U.S. Army and open an AFL branch? Think about that. Think about that. Every organization like the CDC has its own culture, its own orientation. That when people come to join, they bring their names them outside and leave it right there. And they come inside. The name COP is not an affiliated name that has anything to do with CDC. This thing that is taking place right now in Liberia, you're taking for fun. I'm just going to tell you the story today. I'm just going to tell you the story. And those of you that are listening, if you have ears to hear, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to listen. But the tension, the plan that is building under George Weah, I'm going to tell you how the plan is tonight. Take my word, leave it, it's up to you guys. We can bring all the story here, we can show all the videos here, but there are things that are taking place right now that I want you to understand. One, from the day Alexander Cummings said, I will make sure that George Weah become a one-term president, he's not joking about that. He is not joking about that. Alexander Cummings and the CPP plan is to ensure that the Weah administration, within the 5 working business days, don't have any peace in our city and in our country. They want to ensure that every little thing should be turned into a protest. That's from the party structure standpoint. Every little thing should be turned into a protest. There will be no negotiation. And the purpose for doing that is to discourage investors from coming to the country. And the way it works, they feed on the desperation of the people. They influence the people. And the Irishman, I don't understand, he thinks they are in their interest. That is the first strategy. That is their first strategy. to always make sure that whenever there is something that the government needs to negotiate about, that thing will turn into a protest. That is the CPP strategy. Is it working? Well, it's making progress. The second strategy, the first strategy is the civil society strategy, the civil servant strategy that is organized by the political party leaders. That is to enforce protests in the street every day. The second strategy is the communication aspect. Yes, the second strategy is the communication aspect. Yes, the second strategy is the communication aspect. How that work? You see Spoon TV? Those of you in America here, the biggest Republican TV channel is Fox News, right? Yes, it's Fox News. Donald Trump loves to go to Fox News because that station support him. And through our Fox News network, they are all over the country promoting the image of the Republican Party. Going in every little town, country town, linking up with every little radio station, and promoting the image of Fox News through, the Republican agenda through the Fox News, right? And with the texting now, Mr. Trump is texting all the time. Second strategy, but you're not seeing the big picture. Spoon TV. Spoon TV. A CDC is not careful. The way Spoon TV is moving, by 2022, CDC will catch hard time. Yes, CDC will catch hard time. It will give up a little bit of uphill battle to climb. Because Spoon TV is being used by the opposition under a dark cloud that you cannot see if you don't have that exquisite vision. That's how Spoon TV is being used. Don't take my word for it, though. Don't take my word for it. When Mother Douglas said Liberia was going to go in chaos, many people didn't take it for serious. All right? They took it for granted. They were not sure about it. So I'm just here telling you now. And I'm glad that I got video from the past where I said, oh, Mr. We will be president. And people not do anything. People used to doubt it. They seen it today, right? So I'm making a video again. I'm making a video. Spoon TV is a communication arm strategy for the opposition. But they are doing it in a very transparent but disguised form. That if you're not smart, you're not reading the math, you're not reading the calculus, you will not see it. You will not see it. Spoon TV has announced that they got Fabric FM, they got Hot FM. You know how I got popular in Liberia? I got popular in Liberia through Hot FM. Daniel Rogers. I used to get up in the morning, I used to be on Hot FM. And when I say Hot FM, that I announced my support for George Weah. Spoon TV, they support the opposition. Their strategy here is we should get most of the radio station and begin to broadcast. And secondly, we start to bring all the government officials to us so they can come and start to tell their story. And then we'll be asking them questions. How many of you guys listen to Jefferson Koji today? One of the reverend got and said, Minister Toy said, the president will be a dictator. That's a message to sending. Maybe you don't understand. There was nowhere, no time that Samuel Toy ever went over there or ever said the president should be a dictator. But they brought it back to make that out of an issue. Jefferson Koji came today and spoke about the Justino girl Story. Next thing you know, the other medical Uber went up there and started to add a part of story to it. They got a lot of listeners today. They feel that the online participants are not their target. Spoon TV strategy is to get involved with the local radio station in Liberia and start to broadcast so that people on the ground who can vote will start to hear what they have to say. They're going to get Mosquero County. They're going to go to Grand Bassa County. They're going to go to Cape Ma. They're going to go to Banga. They're going to go to Ikepa. Then they start going to Southeast. By the time you make up your mind, it will be too late. Hiya. One day, I will say, Randy, you were right. And that day, I will just cut off from Facebook, and I will be gone. I will be gone. But I will prove it to you. If we're not careful, no God will sweep underneath us, that when the time comes, it will be too late. It will be too late. You see, the sad thing about it, Jefferson Koji will get up and go and sit on Spoon TV and have interview. But those are all who come here every day and talk about the government. They don't care to come here and even say, hello, my man, thank you so much. That is the difference between the white man leadership and the typical African man leadership. I'm speaking my mind tonight. Yes, I am. And you can feel any way you want to feel. But these boys from the opposition, their goal is to make we are one-term president, and they're working towards it. Trust me, they are doing everything. Spoon TV, it will take charge of all the communication aspects. Don't they have Kiss FM in Liberia? Why Kiss FM cannot link with us? All right? Let me see what somebody say here. Who cares for your feelings? Okay. So, this one will be black now. All right? Yeah, the other man, who cares for your feelings? When you're making sense, who cares for your feelings? So that one is black, he's gone. We don't like to hear the truth. We don't like to hear the truth, folks. We don't like to hear the truth. Whether he belonged to Jefferson Koji, I don't know. The same thing when the rebel war was coming in Liberia, people are taking it for fun. See, there's one thing about we Liberian people. The illiteracy rate will continue to kill us. And that's why the Congo men will all be better than us in Liberia. Trust me. Yes, the Congo men will all be better than us in Liberia. Honestly speaking. Because they are together. They are together. Somebody come here and say something together. Oh, who cares about your feeling? Oh, no, now nobody cares for my feelings, right? Because I'm telling you got the truth now. So nobody cares for my feelings, right? You see how deceptive we are? You're telling them the truth. They don't want to listen. Then when something happens tomorrow, then they're ready to blame other people. Instead of saying, my man, the thing you're talking, let me try to understand you a little bit. But, oh no, who cares for your feeling? It's not my feeling, my friend. It is not my goddamn feeling. It's not my goddamn feeling. It is the feeling of the innocent people I'm trying to tell you. Because you are so limited that you don't even understand what I'm saying. But you guys are the one that will see the things happening before you believe it. That's how you guys are. These people are planning, they are planning, they are planning. There's nothing here about my feelings. It's nothing about my feeling. It's about how the country is going to be taken out of something in time to come. These people are planning. You got Jefferson Koji going on Spoon TV. But they will not come on other citizen show to say thank you. What are they trying to prove? Oh, that when you are opposition, then they come to you. So if I become an opposition tomorrow, will they come on my show? Is that why it is? See, that's why Fox News and the white people are very smarter than the black people. All the Republicans will go on Fox News to promote the agenda and will make them strong. But you get our public officials. That's why I give Minister Toya credit. Yes, I give Minister Toya credit. Mr. Toy is a true leader. He believes in what support the government agenda, but not the other people. And I'm not going to give them any credence here. No, I'm not going to give them any credence. The only way I will give you credence is when you support your own. There's nothing wrong with you going on the other side, but you should support your own first. Just how you care for your children first before you care for other people's children. That's how it should be here. That's how it should be. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Take it or leave it. That is the truth. You cannot leave those who are promoting the agenda and going to sit on other channel and be talking and leaving out the other people who promoting your interests. That is absolutely wrong. So Spoon TV, the strategy they're working on right now is Spoon TV continue like that. They will surprise us because by then, by 2022, they will have merged most of the local radio stations and it will become powerful. And the Kiss FM that just sitting over there, nobody supporting them to expand, they will be playing a catch-up game. And then their third strategy is blending in with the youth. You see, if you are going against an enemy, that you cannot defeat directly, you know what you're going to do? You're going to befriend that enemy as your first move. And then while you're with them, you're going to what? Recruit most of them. And then begin to support things that will create their emotions. That's what they call controlling the dynamics. The COP is coming from across the street. They're coming into the CDC youth wing and creating another COP. Tell me, what is the purpose of doing that? What is the purpose of doing that? Can the AFL or Liberia come and join the U.S. Army and say, we're bringing the AFL into the U.S. Army? Every organization got their own culture. Every organization got their own culture. These guys, when they come, we should be able to teach them our value, our political value. If we want to have a youth wing, we got our youth wing. We shouldn't go and copy something and say this is our own. You can't do that. You can't do that. And that's where I stand for my principle. I can't do that. The same way they put when I copied the Constitution back then and took it to Liberia, and they could not even fix the Constitution of our country, all messed up today. How can an opposition group, COP, come within the CDC youth wing and create another COP? What's the purpose of doing that? We don't have brain. That somebody should kind of create a COP. What is the purpose of creating a COP, by the way? What are they going to do? So when the COP, director and the COP throwing stone, then our COP should go and throw stone? Is that why it is now? Is that why it is? I don't care you watch me, I don't give a damn. Honestly, I don't give a damn. But I have to tell you guys the truth. I have to tell you guys the truth. These guys are setting you up. All right? These guys are setting you up. All right? They are setting you guys up. They say the way to keep your opponent motivated is to align with their interest. Yeah? The way to keep your opponent that you already enter into is to align with their interest and determine their cause and promote it. Young citizens in the party who looking for leadership, few handful of people come down, oh, let's create a COP. Oh, yes, that's true. And they catch their interest. Yeah, we are the young CDC COP. And then the guy then say, bravo, our plan are working. How we making progress? We're pushing for protest. It's making progress. We just had our speech. We're going to make sure the election is delayed. We're going to push for that. We don't know whether it's going to be successful or not. We're going to push for that. We're going to make sure the healthcare workers continue to protest. We got Spoon TV. Then I capture, how do you call it, Hot FM. They are capture Fabric. So we got voice on the ground now. We bring the official them, question them toughly, and then they will start to pull towards us. They will start to pull towards us, and then we'll start getting more. You see, Henry Costa is getting very unpopular now because he doesn't have a radio station on the ground. So the opposition now is going through Spoon TV to start capturing their voice. Again, you will say, who cares about your feeling? Only the American people care for my feelings because they know that I can see things from far off and begin to tell them, and they will listen. Not because of my color, but what I'm saying that makes sense to their ears. Henry Costa is going to a year now, doesn't have a radio station on the ground. Spoon TV, a newer guy, he knows his online broadcast is not working for him. So he's now merging with Fabric, he's now merging with Hot FM, and he's going to spread his wings. And who you think he's targeting? Politically, politics deal with numbers. Numbers come by you influencing people, and influencing come by you bringing people on and humiliating them. And then the people get a win. It will come a time, Spoon TV will be the leading radio station on the ground and online because they are well coordinated. See, the opposition, they communicate with each other. They're communicating with each other. So their plan is just going in. How sure are you guys that their plan B, their plan C, where you see the COP is forming, young people that came from the COP, join today. Next thing you know, boom, they're coming up with COP in CDC. Do you have that analytical mind? Did you do high-level thinking? You know, you guys don't do that. Especially the guy high, yeah, black hair. He don't have that kind of mind. He doesn't have that kind of mind to think. This is a mind that they pay good money for. This is not just a mind that just go and clean poo-poo. This is a mind they pay good money for. When people say, look at the math, look at the calculus, and add it. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys here. Costa Boys is not popular in Monrovia and Liberia anymore because he doesn't have a radio station. So they're using Spoon TV now and going with a strategic plan, merging with radio stations and getting their voices on the ground. That is their strategy. And then the plan C, the youth wing that just came. There is a saying that says the best way to keep people motivated who are your opponent after you blend in with them is to align yourself with their values, things that they like. They know there will be some young guys in the party that want to be part of their version of the COP. And they will get in there. Those guys are thinking far ahead of us because we are not communicating. We are not communicating. So the guys are thinking, one day I will say, Randy, you read, and I will be the day I will close my Facebook page and I will be done. And I will tell you, say, you know what, I'm a Liberian, but I don't think like Liberian. I'm one of the few that don't think like Liberians. These guys, look, I sit down and do critical analysis with mathematical equation, putting things here, taking it here, and taking it there. The first time I saw Smith Toby, you know what Smith Toby black mean? You ask Smith Toby today. And this is just an evidence of story. When Smith Toby used to broadcast on OKFM, it came a time I said Smith Toby was trying to get a job with the government. Smith Toby got out of his seat and went and black me. Today, where is Smith Toby today? Working for the government. Because I saw the math. I can see the thing and tell them. Yes, that is the gift that God gave me. Spoon TV, I have been telling you guys, Spoon TV is a opposition, but they are playing it very smart. They're playing it very smart. They know they need a population. And how can they draw the population to themselves? Is to bring the government official on their show and start to interview them. And then you see all the population will start listening to them now. And then it will become the bigger show now on the block. And then everybody will be going there. Then those are all the CDC side when we're talking, oh my man, 12 don't come on your show. Jefferson go on the other side. Then when they get the attention of the people now, that's when they will start to control the narrative. Do you think Jefferson Koji doing the right thing? Oh no, man, he's doing the right thing. But who is the man? The coming then will start coming now. But then it will be too late because they might already what? Systematically cover the entire geographic of major counties in our country. And that when they will say you got to do heavy lifting to catch up with these guys. That's why the people pay some of our good money in the country with our engineering brain. Because we can see things and begin to do the matrix. Don't take my word for it because you Liberians, you don't believe in people. That's why we are one of the lower class or species on or among countries in the world because we don't trust our own. Yes, we don't trust our own. We don't trust our own. No. Look at the country. We don't trust our own. When a Liberian man comes here to tell you something, we don't trust our own. We ridicule each other. That's who we are. We don't trust our own. But you know what? I thank God that this video is not being recorded. You all saw my other video the other time, right? And I said, Joe, we are going to win and Joe, we are going to do the right thing. This is another history that I'm making here. If you continue to make the slightest mistake, when the guidance start to surface among you, that's the time I will say goodbye to you. That's the time I will say goodbye. Politics is about strategy. It's a political war, if you don't understand it. And it's about numbers. It's not like in America where they go by electoral college, setting number kind. Liberian politics is based on popular vote. Our people are very, very ignorant in terms of understanding things. And if we don't educate them, other people will buy into them. You guys know that Costa's voice is going down. So Costa is sitting there in the back now because he's very unpopular to the many Liberians that don't believe that he's the right guy. So they brought in a strange guy. But the strange guy is learning from Costa's mistake and they are systematically carrying out their plan. Carrying out their plan. Carrying out their plan. While you're there making that noise. Oh, ready that foolish man. Ready that this. It's the same thing when Noah was telling the people, God is about to turn the earth into a whole dam of water. People were there merry-making. Oh, who cares? Y'all take it for fun. Y'all take it for fun. Y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all take it for fun. I'm not interested, right? Because number one, I don't cause people, man. I don't do. You see, all the negative people that on Facebook, in the government, they go on Spoon TV, Yeke Koluba, Costa. Then now you get the government official and going there now. Jefferson Koji going there now. By the time you go to all them start going there. Spoon TV will start. As soon as Spoon TV come on now, by the time you read 10 minutes, they go up to 2,000 and say, yes, we got the guys there now. We got them. The plan works. The plan works. And by the time they get any protest now in Liberia, Spoon TV will go and be showing the protests and be destroying the image of George Weah. And you see all the thousands of people watching. Then you'll have to come back now and go on Spoon TV again. Oh, you know, it doesn't work that way. They send Jackson and will come. Don't mind them. They are useless people. They are useless people. That is the game they're playing with you guys tonight. That's their game plan. But you guys will not believe it. Do you think I really sit with these books and behind me and I didn't crack my brain to think ahead of people? You know what Spoon TV, let me tell you what Spoon TV did to me. Spoon TV cannot allow me to make comment when there's show going on. That to how much they afraid. Whenever Spoon TV is live, they block me from making comment. I can only watch. Because they know Spoon TV is not stupid. The guy that run the show, they sit down and look at everybody on Facebook and they say, that guy, don't let him make comment here. Because his comment will stir things up. Because we know him. They don't yet, I mean, do you hear me insulting? No. But they know. They know what I'm capable of doing. Tara Dillon, the Costa page, now Spoon TV. Why do you think these guys are blocking me? Well, you don't see me insulting. But the very people who insulting people, mom, they can make comment there, right? You see the contradiction I'm trying to bring to your attention here? You guys are playing with a fire. If you ever watch any movie Where the example I can give to people from our age group, if you watch Chinese Super Ninja, when the guy they took that girl in, she was serving them food, but she was drawing the entire facility. Drawing it. When the time came, she got it, she took that boy out and just sent it. They poked and took over. By the time the men got ready, it was too late. The kingdom went down. The kingdom went down. You don't understand these things. Costa is not popular anymore. So they're using Spoon TV. You know what people buying more? I mean, look at Spoon TV coming up. They came all struggling out of being in opposition. And because they became opposition, they started bringing Akara's Girl. Akara's Girl, the first person that started promoting Spoon TV. He didn't like it own. You got freedom over there. Freedom should be able to go all over the 15 counties, asking people to be broadcasting in the vernaculars. How many people in the different part of our country can listen to what's going on in Morovia when it comes to rape? But Spoon TV guys, they will go beyond those areas. And they will steal the idea I'm telling you right now today. They will start to find people who can broadcast in the different vernaculars, Grable, Pele, and bring them on the show and start to discuss about what's happening. They will control the narrative. Let me tell you now, our government official, I'm not saying they shouldn't go on the show, but they should make it competitive. You got Fox News that support the Republican Party. You got MSNBC that support the Democratic Party. They can go on a show and they can come on the show and make it competitive. That way they put Obama. If you allow them to just be bringing you into the corner, then they're going to control the dynamics. There is something called transformation, or to transform your ideas is to keep your opponent close to you. The way you keep your opponent close to you is to motivate them so they can align with their personal interest on your show. If you do that, then you will be controlling their narrative. They don't come on our shows. They don't come on our show. For those of you that agree with me, you just keep the video. That's all I ask. Keep the video. That's all I ask. Because you will go back to the video years to come, you say, damn it, that guy was damn right. And by that time, you might not find me around. I may be completely gone. Because the damage will be done. And I can't come out to control the damage. You see, the reason why they have preventive health care is for you to not get a sickness so it can get late for you to live long. In Liberia, because we don't have preventive health care, we don't think about preventative measures in our country. No. Liberia man gets worse than my man is sick. By the time the sickness hits you, your likely chance for you to survive is like 2 or 100% because it's too late. You don't go to the hospital on a regular basis because there's nothing that prevents health care. And we apply those same logic into what we do. We see things because we support somebody personally. Why somebody say, oh, we don't say. But then when the damage comes out, oh, yes. You're listening to the report today, asking Jefferson Koji, that Samuel Toure said the president want to become a dictator. That man who called himself pastor, his purpose over there is to reiterate things that will resonate with other people. The more population they get, especially on the ground, that's the most dangerous part. I will tell you now, I will confess. Those guys gaining ground, gaining popularity on the ground by broadcasting through a local radio station, they're going to defeat my teaching on here. Yes, they're going to defeat it. Because the more radio station they get into the people now. They get into the core of the people. If they were all on Facebook, I would say, you know what? People in Liberia that don't have data, they will not listen to these guys. But these guys know that not all Liberians can afford phone data to listen. But they can listen to the radio and hear people. That is the most dangerous part that will harm us if we're not playing well. There is still opportunity. We got Case FM. We got how they call it? We have Case FM. We can start to compete with them by opening other radio station. Whether it's in River G, whether it's in Bukonjere, whether it's in Maryland, we can open other radio station. You see why I used to make Costa powerful? Costa became powerful because Costa used to be broadcasting Radio Kwage in Kagata, or Radio This in Beaumont, Radio This here. Costa was getting popular. But because he had a problem with his transmission, they shut him down. So now these guys are coming now. They're setting themselves. They're picking people. Mr. Twe, Jefferson Koji. They are target. And they want to be the icing on the cake. The day president will appear on that show. All other Facebook group that's supporting the president, case closed. There will be no more again. Because they already got the icing on the cake. That's it. That's it. Their target is to get Joe Weir on that show. A Joe Weir appear on that station. Case closed. Case closed. They will get the highest turn up. And that when down, they will start to draw the Liberian people attention. Because there will be questions that will be asking Joe Weir to make them to remain on top. Many of you guys don't understand these things. And I don't blame you for these things because, number one, in America, you don't interact with people who got tons of ideas to teach you strategy. Number two, many of you guys don't go to the school where they teach you the ideas. So, because you see a Liberian man sitting here looking at you now, all you see is the Liberian face, you hear the Liberian voice, oh man, that's how we are. That's how we are. But I'm telling you real things here, all right? That is the trap. That is the trap, all right? That is the trap. Somebody say, yo, I for a broadcasting through opposition Joy FM. Thank you. Thank you. Now somebody is seeing something here. Thank you. They are strategically positioning themselves. That's what we call strategic planning. It is called population targets. They are targeting population now. They are putting their foot down. Communists don't know what they're doing. They're distracting the executive leadership by putting in place number of protests. So the protests can generate attention. And when they get that attention, Spoon TV will be there to show it. And the way Spoon TV is building her popularity is by bringing in government officials to appear on their show so that Liberians can start to like their show. And they're going through the local radio station. So when there is a protest, Spoon TV will be there, making their picture big on Facebook. Then the people of Liberia throughout the country will be hearing what's going on in the country. Then our government will start to lose popularity. If the people on your side, it's powerful. Do you know what Donald Trump always tweeting? Said Donald Trump being in office. You know why he always tweeting? Because he getting the attention of the American people. Yes. He getting the attention of American people because he is not underestimated. Because in America, most people have access to data. So Donald Trump said, I'm not waiting for the media. If I can tweet, everybody can. Hey, Donald Trump tweet right now, I will get it. Because I subscribe to that. But in Liberia, because people don't have data, those guys are using the local radio station now. Everybody in the country got their own style radio station. They got some people favor Fabric. I used to broadcast through Fabric, through Radio LRB. I used to broadcast through Fabric. When President Givler was there, I broadcast through Fabric. I know exactly what I'm telling you because I've been there. Go and ask when that lady from Nigeria was the president or the CEO of Fabric. We used to broadcast through Fabric. When President used to have that late night show, all right? He was the godfather of late night show. I used to broadcast through them through Radio LRB. We used to be there. Then we turned around. Our president went to Hot FM. I was invited by Dana Roger, and we're down there. So I know exactly what I'm telling you because I've been there and done that. That is excluding my own exclusive vision and mind to perceive things. But you're missing the mark. How much does it cost to open a radio station? I don't know. That's not my area of expertise, Nancy. That's my area of expertise. But the government on the ground, they got radio stations that support their ideology. Freedom FM is on the ground. Case FM is on it. Case FM have been a station that supported the government agenda for a very long time. But how many people go to Case FM? How many people know about Case FM? Not many people. I know that Case or King, I think one of them. I know King or Case FM. How many Liberians know about the station? These guys are plenty ahead of us, let me tell you now. And for any reason, when they put a dent into our parade, it will be our own doing. Because our own people promoting them. Our own people promoting. All the government officials from the Republican establishment, they will always go to Fox News to tell their people how they're doing. Most Seditians will listen to Seditians. Liberians are selfish when they are in their position. I agree with you, Kamara. Yes. I agree with you. That just tell me that some of them don't get scared. Mr. Twerking went all around. Sat down on different CDC show and you saw how the tenor came. Do you think they were doing it all the time? Coming and having the argument and saying things. And then when they go on the other side and then the opposition want to say something negative for them, we say, no. When these people were here, this is what they said. You guys are lying. Then it becomes competitive. It becomes competitive. Because what you saying over is not what the men said here. But they're not doing it. Our government official feel that buying the interest of the opposition is going to help them. But no. Let me tell you one thing. What the opposition doing to you guys is very deadly. All right? What they're doing to you guys is very deadly. They say the best way to manipulate your opponent emotion is to define the nature of your opponent relationship. And once you do that, you will use them by giving them the impression of things that they like. That's what they're doing to you guys. That's exactly what they're doing to you guys. So you sit there, and oh, the man ain't talking nothing good. Those guys are playing the smart. Those boys tested power for 133 years. They're learning by the day. They're seeing things. The reason they're blacking guys like me is because they know when I start to expose them, what took Smith to go to the Providence Island today on our video clip. Because they're seeing the kind of video I'm showing. But they don't want to come and say, you know what, let us come. And all we're asking for is for them to bring the information to us. Many times we also ask that we get airtime in Liberia, Saturday morning, Sunday in the evening. Now one radio station will come from Liberia and say, my man, we want to give you one weekend to come and broadcast and teach our people. All we're doing is just teaching few of you guys in America here. That is not an impact. The impact is on the ground by you influencing the people and giving them the sense of what has happened. Do you think all the video I'm showing, if that were being shown in Liberia, you know how many mind you'll be changing? You know how many perception you'll be changing when Alexander coming and talking and know exactly what the video you saw about that other man yesterday who left from here after working as some kind of taxpayer member want to go be president in Liberia. You think if the people of Liberia start to see the video, how you think the people going to consider the people? Education is not only in the classroom, folks. They got public education out there, street education, where you can teach people to be enlightened. But that's the challenge we have, folks. That's the challenge we have. I cannot help it. But when I tell you, God, what I think, I cannot help it. We have decided to license and re-license or permit and re-permit from year to year illiteracy. We're not willing to learn. We are not willing to learn. We are not willing to learn. We are not willing to move the goalpost to a better location. We're not willing to learn. That's us. We're not willing to learn. I mean, see how much we do on this Sunday here. Now, one person will come and say, my man here, let me see on the show here and say hi to you guys. I cannot connect. Okay, I can connect you with Sen TV if you want. I mean, the opportunity is open to you guys. All right? The opportunity is open to you guys. Whatever you feel that would be the best thing to propagate the government agenda. That's what we want. The very video, you can send that video. Somebody can go and watch it. As long as the message is making sense to you, think about it being a bigger picture. The reason people build network, all the companies you see today, whether it's Chevron, GE, Apple, why do you think they get connection all over the world? Because they feel that they will grow their profit by expanding their business. Politics, the more radio stations you get that broadcast locally in the country, the better position you will be in. The better position you will be in. Don't feel because you're in power, you got a little thing around you. No. There are other people who planning to get rid of you. And they will do it in a very systemic way. Yes, they will do it in a very systemic way if they want to get rid of you. All right? When you are ready to take down an opponent, they will keep the pressure up on all sides. And that's exactly what Bernard Ewing is doing. Maybe you're not here again. When your opponent is ready to take you down, they will keep the pressure on all sides. You seen the protests? You seen the COP trying to establish itself within the youth rank? They want to create pressure to go against the other people. That's why it is. That's why it is. We was going to open Send TV USA, but I was relocating, so they told the owner in Liberia to put it on hold. Why would it work for you guys? Why would it work for you guys? But we got to make sure we do our best. Because two things will happen. Is if Spoon TV managed to control most of the radio stations to get their messages across, we'll have to do heavy lifting to catch up with them. And they will also increase the speed. They will put a turbo engine where they will increase the speed. So we'll be chasing them. And there's a possibility that they can win. Because they get the people's mind. Because one thing they know about the native man, they start giving all rights. They start giving all some little things. They win the people's minds. By the time you want to go convince them, it's too late. Because they'll ask you, what have you done? And that question alone will go to the poll. People's minds are not well measured in understanding the long risks that things may pose. So I just thought it wise to come and have the conversation here with you guys. That's why it is. Sometimes we got to have the in-house meeting. What strategy is going out there? What strategy is going out there? When you're in politics, it's a game that you play every day. Yes, because the opposition will create a trap for you by playing to your expectation and causing you to let your guard down while they are planning to hit against you. That's what they will do. That's exactly what they will do. So, don't take my word for it. I'm just telling you guys now. I'm just being honest with you guys. The only way we can start to gain momentum, the government officials need to recognize what we're doing. They need to appear on our show, tell us about their progress, tell us about their agenda, tell us what they're doing. That will motivate the people, because the people will go out there and say, yes, we watch this show, that support the government, and the minister then appear on the shows. All right? That I mean, somebody here can see a gill. Let me see what the person say. Let me see who the other person. Let me show you the here. All right? This guy right here. Yes, I saw the guy. You're right, Vivian. I saw this guy. You see the guy? The moment Jefferson Koji got off, that Spoon TV, this guy came and started to modify, add more mud to the comment that Jefferson Koji made about Justino Taylor. This guy, I don't regard the guy, because the guy is a travelist, and you know, he's a travelist. I don't know how he joined the army in America. Maybe he was hiding that behavior. But he came and started to castigate, tarnish the young man's reputation. Because that's exactly what Spoon TV is all about. Spoon TV will bring the government official and they will take something from there and spin it, and then the other people will run with it on their show. They will run with it on the show. Look how they are on their mission to do everything possible. And from what I'm seeing, looking at the map, looking at the prediction, they are doing extremely well. The president spoke about progress, yes. So the opposition communication arm, they are doing well. Because if they can pull our government official to go on their show to talk a lot, they're doing well. Many citizens, Prince Sharif, Gilmer, and others, the guy will talk from Monday to Saturday. Now one government official will come on the show and say thank you. Now one. So where the effort being? Because they are the one who move things. When they move, people move with them. So if they redirecting their energy to the opposition station, so that's where the energy will go. So why would you want to waste time and come on Facebook and be talking to you guys when you're not even getting the motivation. When you're not getting the motivation. All right? That same guy want to, yeah, he want to marry the woman. That's what he said. I mean, I hate personal affair. I don't really care for whether he want to marry the woman or not. But I'm just saying that Jefferson Koji and other government officials continue to go on the show. They're going to open themselves to a lot of vulnerabilities that the guy will use against them. He will use it against them. Spoon TV is phishing. There's something in technology called phishing. So now you on your computer, you see the email that comes to you, tell it came from your boss or from your wife. By the time you click on it, they expose you, they tap into your computer. That's exactly what Spoon TV do. They are phishing. They are fishing for the government officials and bringing them on that show and asking them some questions to see whether they will slip up, and then they will keep the video. That's what they will do. Yes, that's exactly what they will do. Who's selling diplomatic passport? I need one. All right? Diplomatic passport, if you want to go anywhere, go get it. We're not selling passport here. Passport can be sold all over. Anyhow, let me see here. Speaking of diplomatic passport here. All right, let me see here. What's up, Hassan? What's up, Hassan? Let me see something here. Hold on here. Let me see if I can get it searched here. Okay, you and that beautiful up here. Yeah, let's see here. List of ambassadors in the United States, U.S. Liberia, influx, Liberia, New York. Okay, let's see. I was trying to find something here, but excuse me, I don't think I'll be able to find it here now. I mean, think for example, okay, good. So, as I was saying, these guys are working against us seriously. And the government officials, some of them, are promoting these guys. You cannot have people talking for you guys, and you're going to them, and you're giving them all the support. Never saw that before in politics. Never saw that. It's like people who are government officials in the Trump administration going on CNN and having the conversation all the time, but never appear on Fox News. Never saw anything like that before. Yes. So what you heard here tonight, it was just a warning. It was just a warning. Because I have been following the trail. I have seen Spoon TV going with Yaka Koluba using all type of profanity against the president. They're embracing it. They're not stopping. They're not stopping because they know the population in Liberia is polluted. It's polluted with people with nasty minds. Yes, it's polluted. So they love those things. So they will not put any ethical standard to it because that's what they love to hear. They will continue to do things. All right? Which one people not ready again? Those are the people they support. Those are the people they support. So if you are a government official, you going to Spoon TV, there is nothing wrong with you going there. But you must learn to support your own. You should learn to appear on the different shows that support the government and talk about the things that you're doing. Talk about your plan, the plan progress, the plan targets. Let those who support you get to hear from you on any medium here. But you can't take your whole time and go sit over there. I'm not talking about the Liberian people. For me, I'm not talking about the Liberian people. I'm not talking about myself. Because right now, when I finish from here, I'm going to have fun time with myself. I'm not talking about the people back there. Because I know one day, government officials will fall off the cliff and it will come down. That season will dry. Any officials that were enjoying 12 years ago, right? Where are they today? They're down today. Two officials that were enjoying almost 40 years ago. Where are they today? They're down. See where we are government officials. Everyone that in the we are government today, you guys are having fun. But when I talk in your drop, what are you going to be saying now? When you meet some of us here. My man, how you manage? Your hiding thing, how you manage? Are you going to say, oh, Mr. We are not listening? Or are you going to say they men were controlling this? Is it going to be the same repeated something again? That's how it is. All right? So I'm here to tell the story. All right? Somebody said, so are you suggesting that government official should not go on opposition channel? Look, Mr. LIB Botuman, LIB got you. You said something yesterday again. This time tonight, I'm going to block you. Yes. LIB got you way, you're going to be blocked tonight. Because you cannot learn from the past. As an engineer, I don't take repeated mistake easily. You came on the show yesterday, and yeah, much I appreciate you, but you have a learning disability, and I cannot help you. You had a learning disability. You just got here, and haven't listened to me. Now you say, oh, are you suggesting? Instead of you listening to me. From the beginning of the show, I said, I don't disagree that they should not go on opposition, but they should start with us first. And I just repeated that again, and now you're asking the question here again. You know, you are a very lucky guy. Yes, LIB got you. You're very lucky. The star you were born underneath is a very, very lucky star. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell God, thank you. But there's something that keep telling me not to block you. So you're a very, very lucky man. All right? Very, very lucky. Keep that luck with you, my friend. You're a very lucky guy. Because there's something that's telling me that I cannot even move my finger to block you. You're a very lucky person. Yes. You're a very lucky person. You're a very, very lucky person. You sure you were on the show yesterday? Is that somebody else I was talking about? I think you were on the show yesterday, my friend. You were on the show yesterday. LIB got you. You were on the show yesterday. Go watch the show yesterday. You were here yesterday. All right, have you seen this video, Randy? Please listen. What this guy, senseless guy. Bill, I don't listen to this guy, Bill. I don't listen to this guy, Bill. I don't listen to this guy. Yeah, I'm too intelligent to listen to this guy. No. I don't listen to this guy. I'm not even going to show him on the camera here. I don't listen to this guy. Yes, this guy is below my standards in every capacity. I'm not going to listen to him. No, I don't listen to him. So that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They need to start to support their own. Bring the policy. The finance minister started that process. But it seems to be that they are not interested in doing these things. But what I'm telling you that these guys are planning, and they are planning very, very strategically. They know exactly what they're doing. All right? So, guys, I will take a few calls, and I will be going. If you want to come in, please. I'll take 3 people, and I'll be out of here. All right? I'll take 3 people, and I'll be out of here. All right? I was on 2 days ago. Okay, if you're on 2 days ago, but I seen that you made a mistake again, bro. 2 days ago, then it's the day you made that mistake. Yeah, it was the day you made that mistake. Now you come back again, you fall in yourself that same mistake. Oh, there you go again. Yeah, Donald Trump. Donald Trump just tweeted again, all right? All right? See, Donald Trump is very engaged with the people because he knows social media in America is very big. All right? Let me take this caller here, and you guys should know exactly. So this is my first caller out of 3. So let's see how that works. First caller out of 3.
Hello?
Oh, that's my man here again. What's up,
Yeah,
my man?
I was the one that was letting you know that I can connect you with Send TV.
I don't know how good that would be, but I want for everyone who broadcasts, maybe that you could say, for example, once you start the process, others will follow your lead. So I could agree with you on that. Yeah, so that opportunity, I look forward to you making that out because I want to make sure that this Spoon TV get some competition from here and from the government standpoint.
Okay.
So I appreciate that effort.
Okay.
All right. I will appreciate that effort. I will get back to the other guys in here and see what can be done. But preferably for me, I would rather do Sunday evening or Saturday afternoon. But Sunday evening would be a very perfect time for me. Sunday evening, I don't know how the studio run over. Do they sleep in the studio? Because Sunday evening, maybe like 6, 7, most people are home relaxing, and then you can start to broadcast because I think most people relaxing at home, and then maybe during the weekdays we can find one day when people are at work to continue to get the message across because that's my goal. There's one guy who is leaving from the United States. He called me up and said, "Are we going to Liberia? I'm going to open a public center where they will be broadcasting from." So he wants me whenever he running that show during the week, where I can get in there and just begin to talk to the young people, explain things
Yes.
to them. So that's something he's working on too.
Okay. Because
So what you got to say?
no, because Sam TV in Liberia is pretty big. So right when I heard you talking about it, the man that owns Sam TV, he's a some kind of big guy in CDC over there. So I contacted him right away, and he told me, he says, so long I make the recommendation, he all for it. So he just want me. So he told me that if you can send me your number and I will send it to him, or either vice versa. He's willing to have the conversation because we were going to open up CNTV USA. I bought the equipment, I bought the software and everything, but I'm relocating from New Jersey to all the way down to Texas. So everything will put to standstill. But I still got the software, very nice, expensive software. Um, so I mean, everything is there. We just need someone in America that can, that is willing or having the time to, to broadcast and present the factual information to the Liberian people. And I think with your expertise and the amount of information that you have, I think you would be the right guy. And just as soon you said it.
Yeah, but let me say this. Let me say this. The software you're talking about, that's fine with me because I won't have that opportunity before, but I turned it down because I'm very busy. What I would like to see myself doing, like if my show is on, someone cast my show in Liberia and I do my talking. If that would require me to have the software installed on my computer, I don't mind doing that. But I don't want to be on our big set. No, that's not my style.
Oh, no.
No, that's not my style.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to be somewhere. I just want, if I'm on, somebody say, Randy, yeah, we can connect your show to the audience back home. Perfect. That's all I want.
Oh, okay.
That's all I want. So yeah, that's all I want. So it's Sam TV, got the studio, and say, look, because right now, not Fabric, but Freedom can connect me, and I can start to broadcast. Like when I get on Freedom show every evening, I just connect to the show. We had a conversation on the radio. People calling the show. Oh, we're ready here. We are my analysis. That's something that I'm looking for. If they want to take it to the next level, where they say, okay, when you broadcasting, we can show the video in Liberia for those who got Facebook to see you. Because I believe the people on the ground who don't have access to data, to burn data, those are my primary targets. And that's the target that Spoon TV is going on. See, many of the guys, they don't understand the logic. And, they don't understand the logic either because they are not school. So they will come, oh, man, talking crap. And those are the opposition guys that want to, distract you from your agenda. But I want to make sure that my people, the Silesians, level-headed Liberians that want to see a better country that will be very competitive with ideas, they are the ones that I am targeting And they are the one that I'm trying to bring the idea to when I say that Spoon TV is on a
They
mission
are.
to what? To map out most of the local radio stations.
Yes.
That's their
Yeah.
plan. And if they do that, President Weah will catch hard
You're
time.
right.
Because the fact that they're bringing their official on their show is put us in a very bad position. That they're telling us that you guys even work. We're bringing your guys in here and we're asking them all the questions. Some of the questions are not making sense. And then you see everybody will start floating to that station and they will dictate the process. If you allow somebody to dictate the process, they control it.
Yes.
And and that's why I don't want to see. And I just hope that the guy will listen. And maybe I know they don't care. Maybe they're like, oh man, we got enough now, man. If we lose, who cares? I mean, sometimes you get different reaction,
Yeah, you're right.
because people that mean business will do the best. People that mean business will do the best. I mean, you see the election here today. Joe Biden is going in every corner, every little phone, your old email. They're still reaching out to you because they need people on their side. They need for soldier. They need everybody. But there's something fundamentally wrong with some of the government officials. You saw the finance minister, he did an extremely good job. Came on most of our network. When he got done, then he went to the opposition side. That means that we have a balanced airtime where he came on our show, but somebody got no. I don't know. I think some of the guys in the government. Let me reframe it. Some of the guys in the government feel very, and they have that kind of inferiority complex where they feel that they are obligated to go to this guy station to prove some point. But to us in America, yeah, it's bull
I
crap.
know.
And
You're right.
it's bull crap. So I don't know, but I try to wrap my head around that. But I mean, let me just give you the floor to have your say.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
but I love the conversation here.
I didn't really call to say anything. I just really called to let you know. But I will inbox you after the show, and I think that would be a great. I think that is a great idea. Um, the oppositions they have an idea to take over and spread out false rumors out there to our people, and I
Yeah,
think CDC we should have a platform as well in Liberia and America where that we can also have broadcasters every day that will be able to go on there and give the factual information to debunk all of the lies that that were told by the opposition camp. And I think that is a brilliant idea. If some of the government officials then, if they don't see it, I really don't know. Maybe it's just the ego. These guys are very egoistic. They once they get into power, then they get blind. So uh so I mean, I will connect you with him, and then y'all can take it from there, and you just let him know
yeah.
what.
What you can do for me is you can go on my page, send you some of my video, let you get to see the content of what I have been talking about, especially the most recent one yesterday, the day before yesterday. Share the one with him, and then the next thing you do is to share the information. Because I'm not just looking out for that publicity only for myself. No, I want Prince Sharif, I want Michael Gilman, every one of us to have that opportunity to be able to compete with these guys. If that guy would be a person to provide that opportunity, that would be a blessing for the government. All right, that would be a blessing because those who are the pioneers of things that happen will not be the one to benefit. Dr. King, today, you and myself in America here fighting for the kind of rights, they started it. If you cause one person to give an opportunity so that the government official can benefit, people will know that we did it. Say, you are breaking in, I didn't get you.
I'm not gonna say his name here. You know him as well. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you know him as well too. Once I say his name to you and identify him, you will know who he is as well. He has his family live in Philadelphia, but he always in Liberia. So yeah, so I mean he liked the idea. He just want to talk to you, and that's it. And then I think he follow your show as well, so he know who you are. So he just want to talk to,
Okay.
yeah, he just want to talk to you so you can explain to him what you want to do, and he will provide you the opportunity. Because I'm making that recommendation.
I just want to inform the Liberian people. I just need competition. I love
I
competition.
know, man. I can see that.
Whatever the opposition doing over
You're
there,
right.
I want the people to know. Yeah, and I want to take it to the next level. I want to even see different radio station in my own place of River G. They got the G radio station there. If I can get an opportunity to broadcast from here to River G and tell the people exactly what the president is doing, that would make my day. Because the people got to get the truth. But these guys on the ground, I don't know, it's just something just wrong with them. And I don't know whether,
That is
if you ask me honestly, I don't think they love the
that
country.
is
And
the
I don't think they love the
that
president
is the
agenda. That's
Liberian.
my own opinion. I don't think they love the country. I don't think they love the country. They love the president agenda. Because if you love the president agenda, when you hear people promoting stuff, you will be quick to reach there and say, my man, how can I afford you the opportunity? But I just think they are giving the president lip service, but they're not really looking out for the president because their action, their behavior can tell
You're right.
you whether they buy into the president's idea. It is one thing to work for somebody and get your paycheck. It's another thing to subscribe to the person and result.
Yes,
Two different
you're
things.
right. And at that high level, where like President we at, he has certain level where that he's so busy, and he having lots of conversation with other world leaders and things of that nature. So he expect these guys around him to be doing the right thing. So whatever information they take to him verbally, he just takes it as it's factual information, and yeah, and these guys are doing the right thing, but probably
And
they're really not doing the right thing.
of course, and one thing they fail to realize and they're trying to underestimate. You see, during the early era, when Liberians got on Facebook, there was nothing like Facebook Live. Only in the last year of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, it was when Facebook started getting popular within the Liberian community, but Ellen was already done with her term.
Yes.
But this administration is living in the preliminary stage of Facebook. And at the preliminary stage, there is a lot of technology that is being pumped in different ways. So if the government official believe in themselves that, oh, we got this thing covered, they got to think again because technology is very, very powerful.
And you and
And Spoon TV will use it to their
yep.
advantage.
And I brought the same idea back then on the Classic D show. I took Classic D. I said, look, you see in America, you see the reason why Donald Trump is not losing ground. I said, because Donald Trump, he he's very consistent. Okay, he keep touch
Mhm.
with his voters. He keep touch with his base. Even as a president, he going out, still hosting rally. He's still hosting rally. He's still informing the people. The people, sometimes the people here, they will hear from the press secretary, but the person that they voted for, that's the person they want to hear from a lot too as well. And I said, that's the reason why
True.
Donald Trump is not losing any base of supporters. And I said, this, and I told myself, the CDC government need to have a platform where that constant conversations, information being put out at all times to keep the public informed. So when these guys come up with the
And another thing here too is, I mean, and to those who listen to us here, I love the conversation. If you want to participate, that's fine. Another weakness too, and the reason I have the conversation is because nobody out there want to reach to me. If the mountain not kind of Moses got to go out there and look for the mountain.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Another thing they need to establish in the government is some form of think tank. Citizens are very smart people. They have a lot of smart citizens across the face of the planet. But it wouldn't take someone from home or someone who would be designated by the government to say, bring these people together. You see, when Bill Clinton was president, there's a guy who called Paul Bagada. They got our own ABC News now. They call what his name, man? The guy with the wild face here. I just
I
forgot
don't
his
watch
name.
TV, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just forgot his name. I watch the news. I keep myself informed. Trust me, I keep myself informed.
I don't
Shit.
watch TV.
I keep myself informed. I don't want to come across anything. Yes, it was back then when I was in school that when I know to watch TV. But nowadays, I keep myself informed, man. Information is very relevant in this DNA here. I mean, the age we living in here. I just forgot his name. All right, but these guys, they were Bill Clinton war room guys. When one issue come out, the next morning on across all the network, those guys will go from one place to another to debunk everything that would be said of Bill Clinton character or Bill Clinton policy. And they were all part of the policy team. So they were tapping into their knowledge. CDC need to have these things. But I don't know what the guy are afraid of. I don't know whether they think when they open up other people to jobs, we are going to take jobs from them. Some Liberians here don't want jobs. They just want to see this president succeeding. They got the idea, and to give it to these guys. But the ability to connect is one of the deficiencies they have, and this has nothing to do with criticism. If a criticism make you tougher, all right, criticism make you tougher. All the tablets you take, not all sweet. Some of it better to make your body better. So criticism is another way, but it depends on how you criticize. You should criticize with some passion. And that's what we're doing here. We want the government to succeed, but for the government to succeed, we need their support. We need their support. These guys you see on Fox News, CNN, when they come with the papers in their hands, they're not writing those things by themselves. They're getting these things from different area of the government. Say, this is our policy, this is our plan, this is what we're doing. Go out and go tell the people. But for this government, it's a very, very challenging battle. Very, very challenging battle. The president get up in the morning, he got a very tight schedule. Yeah. When that president get out of the bed, when he get out of the bed, his whole itinerary from the time he hit the office to the sunset, he's exhausted, he's tired. Yes. So it's very difficult for him to watch some of these shows. But these guys who brief the president, who watch the show, they become tired when they're with the president. All they want the president to do is to take what they're giving the president.
That's it.
That's very bad.
That's it. Yeah.
That is very bad. And that is very, very bad. They should open up the president and say, Mr. President, yeah, I heard a guy saying something here. You want to listen to it? Yeah, just for 5 minutes. This part is very important. They're not doing those things. Then when the opposition get ready, then they want to come and play the role as information minister, defense minister. That is not your role. Your role is to disseminate the information to those that are out here so they can do the talking for you guys.
Yep.
They'll always wait not the time before they want to come and talk. That is the deficiency of some of the ministers in the government, ability to make the president better. The president hire you guys to have authority. That authority should be shown in how you connect to do things. Let me give you the last word.
Yeah, and yeah, right before I go. And I love the way how Summer 12 went on Spoon TV and really school these guys to the information. And some of these guys was trying, they were throwing tough questions at him. But you know what? He is so well informed about the issues, and he know his job very well that every question
Yeah.
were being answered correctly. And I mean, you could see all of the opposition, and they was muted because
Yeah.
it was like this guy, he was like a guru at what he does, and he was
Yeah.
just giving out the information, giving information, and I was like, wow, why is that? If you guys was gonna do this from the beginning to now, they were gonna make you guys' job easy. They were gonna make your job easy. The Jada Hash job easy. The Prince Sherry job easy. The Classic D job easy. What's the other lady name? All these other people.
This
Yeah,
Rose,
all these other and plus all of the
Precious,
females that
Collie.
also be on Facebook Live, because there are a lot of information that he was giving out that nobody don't even know about, and those information it was it was very key, and everyone on Spoon TV. I mean, like, you could just look at the faces. These guys was in the shock. They were shocked. There was a wow. We didn't even know that this kid or this guy, he is well knowledgeable about the information. He knows what he's doing. He knows his job, and he's a smart guy. And I watched that entire show, and I was really pleased with what he did. And these are kind of things that everybody should be doing, because if you know your job and you're well informed about the issue, you will not be scared. Okay, you will speak with
Yeah.
confidence, and and that's just what he did. So thanks for everything that he does, man. I will connect you with the guy, but my
Yes, we need to compete. We need to take the competition beyond Facebook.
neutral.
We can't keep living in
Yeah,
cyberspace.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you so
Let me
much.
get it. My girlfriend text me 20 times. I gotta go.
My man, let me let you go. Before I get into it, I mean, I'll go talk about one below. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I know society. I'm now on marital counselor. All right. Let me see what says man. They got. Let me see. Okay. So sis down said they got the president in a bubble. President Bronsky knew that his allegation was in the governing body that oversee the election in our. My name is Randolph Doppel, and following the process that is applicable to our society. So, as you can see today, they came up with that decision, which is giving a U-turn back to the NEC, which is the governing body that oversee the election in our country.
But one thing I would like for you to let us know from last week when the case was presented to the Supreme Court,
Correct.
and they told us that they were going to get back to us on Thursday, and which Thursday was a national holiday. Why would they come up with decision like that? And they were knowing that it's going to be a holiday. Why was that?
Well, apparently they got caught up in the process, not knowing that was an oncoming holiday. And for the most part, too, like you observe on the news, they have the ECOWAS delegation in the country. They too are also trying to weather the storm in the country in regards to what the decision of the Supreme Court would turn out to be. So all these factors build all the chemistry that the publicists, that came up with the fact that they were going to deliver on Thursday, probably did not, give thought to the fact that Thursday was going to be a holiday. So, that's a lesson learned, and that's why we're supposed to have publicists who will look at the calendar to determine on what is ahead and when and why can we make or not make the kind of statement. So those are some of the reasons that they flip like that. But I think they learned their lesson too, Tunis.
Well, but do you think Bronsky really went through the due process to take the court case directly from NEC without NEC giving him any response and just taking it straight to the Supreme Court? Was he taking the right process?
No,
Is that?
I, you see, Bronsky is a calculated politician. He's a calculated politician that only in there for himself. Because, like I told folks tonight, I like to look at the deviation, the root cause analysis as to what thing happened and why. Let's look at 2005. 2005 had an election to this, and for every election, you have to generate a report that is described as the post-election report. And that post-election report will look at the near misses, the opportunity to improve, the recommendation. That is to prepare for the next future election. Mr. Bronsky was part of that. Ambassador Weah was part of that. President Johnson said he was part of that. Ambassador Weah was the only person who came out to say, you know what, we have some irregularities. How can we face the irregularities? But he got toned down. People disregard what he was saying. We jumped into 2011. Same thing happened. This time it was Ambassador Weah, and it was also Honorable Tubman. They came again with the same issue of voter irregularities in the election. Again, the same people turned around again and forgot about listening to Ambassador Weah. They decided to move on. Now today, Honorable Bronsky knows very well that the party that he was aligning himself with, President Andy Johnson Sirleaf, is not supporting the Unity Party anymore. So that makes him vulnerable. Now, remember, from 2005 to 2011, Mr. Bronsky was quiet. He didn't say anything. But now he looked into the crystal ball now and feel that there's no hope for him. So what he decided to do now? He decided now to take his own interests, the interest that would benefit him. So he went against the out. We have voter irregularities. It's obvious that it's supposed to happen. Voter irregularities is supposed to happen. It's obvious. But what it is not obvious is the process involved. NEC has the legal authority in our country by law and by rule and by article within NEC regulation that once the election result is announced, after 7 days, you can file your appeal and followed by a 30-day investigation by NEC and her staff. Now, Mr. Bronsky knew that his allegation was insufficient to substantiate his claim with NEC. But because he felt he knows the law, he decided to what? To now wait for the closure from NEC to give him that right to go to the Supreme Court. What did he do, Tunis? He took a case to the Supreme Court. While the case was still being investigated, Musa Belidi was representing Unity Party, presenting the cases of what they had discovered. But Bronsky felt that because there was a projected date that was given by NEC, he used his constitutional right to go to the Supreme Court. But here's the thing that he failed to make the Liberian people to understand. As long as that 30 days is not concluded, there's no closure to his case, it was going to be impossible to have that election. Because the Supreme Court wouldn't even allow that when you have an ongoing case with a candidate who, for the fact, has a lot of people aligning with his philosophy. So he decided to disrespect the due process that he talked about. He disrespect that process, which I want the Liberian people to understand that when you run an institution, no matter who you are, we need to make sure that we respect the rules regarding any institution in the country. That's how we learn to be good citizens and make our country better. Instead, he jumped to the Supreme Court. Remember, we had 30 days. So between all the time you were running to the Supreme Court and NEC having the ability to analyze, guess what happened? The case today came out to say, you know what? Since you asked for this stay order, there's nothing we can do. We're granting the stay order. Go back to the go back to NEC to have the issue resolved. But what Hello, Tunis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Okay, all right. This is why the Supreme Court should have done. Why it is true that Mr. Bronsky has it right. The very day he filed his report with the Supreme Court regarding the stay order, the Supreme Court, knowing very well that NEC had 30 days, they should have denied his appeal and say, you know what? We're going to instruct NEC to make sure that your case is processed and they present a conclusion to you before you come back to us. They didn't do it. They took a bit, and because of that, the Supreme Court managed to take some days away from the 30 days that NEC supposed to have taken to investigate the case, which is why today the court said the case has been sent. I mean, the issue has been ordered to go back to NEC so that NEC can speedily investigate the case. The reason they use the word speedily is because the Supreme Court has taken days out of that too. So now it's up to NEC. But I tell you what, NEC already has a result because NEC, through the different press conferences, NEC through their communication online, have proven that Mr. Brunsky does not have a case. So it's going to be a very fast-track decision that will be given back to Mr. Brunsky that he doesn't have a case. And guess what Mr. Brunsky is going to do? Mr. Brunsky now is going to go back to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court now is going to decide his fate. As you know, the Supreme Court is the arbiter of law in our country and the final decision maker. Now, there is the caveat to that. Remember, Edwin Snow is part of the Unity Party that has aligned itself with Mr. Brunsky. When he worked on that committee of justices, I'm having a little doubt because there's a conflict of interest right there. So I want the Liberian people to look at this, that if the decision favor Mr. Brunsky and Mr. Snow West is on that committee, I can say for a fact that she may play some role. So to take herself out of any kind of shenanigan, I would suggest that she recuse herself from that process. And here is why. Because Mr. Snow had gone to the same Supreme Court with cases, and he had won those cases. But those cases have been a very minute cases. But this case is a very large case that we don't want to take for granted. Because you know what? We have two significant parties that are the outstanding party in the country, and we want that election to be held and not to be put in some kind of debacle that would derail our election. So I'm also calling that his wife recuse herself should, in case Mr. Brunsky go back for the final hearing of his case. But the NEC going to have a very fast track of Mr. Brunsky's case, which they're going to deny, and they're going to recommend a forward step into the runoff election.
But how come Unity Party got involved into this case, and they have already agreed to go for the runoff with CDC? How come they became an adversary to this particular case?
I tell you what, there are two things. Number one, Unity Party does not have the calculus. They does not have the chemistry to win this election. So they resorted to Brunsky derail process. Because think about it, Eddie Johnson said he had been the brain behind the Unity Party. She had been the mobilizer, she had been the motivator, she had been the financier, she had been the brain. But because she decided to take a back seat, knowing for the well that Mr. Bokar does not have the juice to become the next president, she decided to take the back seat. Secondly, most of her folks that are better with her, the legs of Councilor Brunsky, including Bokar himself, Eddie Snow, these are all the different people that differ with Ellen Johnson's selling philosophy. So they all align themselves now with the Unity Party. But they have nothing to prove. Remember, Tunis, before we got into this stuff, they were preaching what? The message of war, 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 war. Because they don't have message. How will a party that was in power for 12 years don't have a message for the Liberian people? That tell you that they didn't do a good job. So what they resorted to? They resorted to what? Creating chaos among our people that there will be war. Ambassador Weah win. And we know that Ambassador Weah, who he is, has been the UN ambassador, has been the peace reconciler through the Ellen Johnson Study administration, and he has done extremely well in that role. Number two, he also had served as presidential candidate within his party, and he also has served as VP in his party, and they had irregularities, but because of the sake of our people, they allow these things to go ahead. But Unity Party feel that they don't have the numbers, they don't have the capability to make the second round, so they're not aligned with Mr. Walker Brunsky. Mr. Walker Brunsky has become the spoiler of this election. He has nothing to lose because he has been a third place person for the past 3 elections. So he coming in as the spoiler. Guess what is happening here? Unity Party that don't have the means to go to the second round to win this election has decided to join the fray, to derail the process, to create frustration within the mind of our people, which is why I'm on here to say, you know what? Look at Unity Party record. Look at Mr. Brunsky's record. Since when did Mr. Brunsky took interest into voter irregularities? Why didn't he speak about this in 2005? Why didn't he speak about it in 2011? Why didn't he speak about it before the election on
But
2010, 2017?
this is a man who didn't even take 10% of the voting record in Liberia. He didn't even come up to 10%. Why is he taking these steps? And for the matter of fact that he's not going anywhere with this case anyway, even if you have to rerun this over and over more than 5 times, he's always going to be the 3rd place or the 4th place. Where is he taking this to?
Well, it's a political manipulation of game. You know what they're trying to do here? Bronsky, as I told you, is a calculated politician. What he's doing now is a mind game. He wants to drag and derail this process so that the voters in the country can get frustrated. And in his mind, he feels that that is going to build Unity Party to gain more status in terms of numbers. So dragging the process, going to frustrate people, people are going to give up, people are going to get tired, and they're going to go away. But guess what? The Multi Congress for of a democratic change, all right? The CDC party will continue to remain resolute. They continue to remain focused. They continue to keep their guard, which is why when you hear today's decision, look, to this, I want to give thanks to members of the CDC party for being so organized. If you look at some of the images that were on Facebook today, they had the police were in full gear. They have the surveillance population that criticize the CDC all the time. They were all watching to see what the CDC was going to do today, not knowing that CDC is not the problem in our country. When the result was announced, the police came in high gear. Did you see any commotion in the street? Absolutely not. Did you see anybody causing chaos? Absolutely not. Because the CDC is focused on one thing, and that thing is we are waiting for the runoff so we can take Ambassador Weah to the executive mansion. That shows that the party is focused. So what Mr. Bronsky and Unity Party are doing is just wasting people's time and don't want to move forward.
I would like for you to go into the mind of the Election Commission. What do you think they are coming? What will be their response to Mr. Bronsky? And do you think that response going to get Mr. Bronsky back to the Supreme Court, or he just going to waive it? Because I overheard that he doesn't even trust the Election Commission. And where are we going with this if he doesn't trust the Election Commission? And this is the Election Commission that went through this process, the first run, and there was a date for the second run. Until now, we came to this dilemma. How can we? How can you go into the mind of the Election Commission?
Well, the Election Commission mind had already been made up. They see Mr. Bronsky allegation as an isolated issue and as a mere scam to derail the process. Here's why. The Election Commission had come out with the ballots that Mr. Bronsky was claiming that was actual real ballot that became a fraud. Those were brochures. Those were brochures. When you vote in other countries, they gave you the final brochure to look at in order to determine who you're actually going to vote for. Those are the ballots that Mr. Bronsky brought forward as evidence. And besides that, the magistrate of every county and district within our country, the next administration have contacted these people, and they are proving that there is not any sort of voter irregularity or fraud that took place during our election. So the decision, their decision now to Mr. Bronsky would be, there isn't enough evidence to prove that there were any sort of irregularities. Will that time elapse? Absolutely, Tunis. There will be time elapse because you know what? Since 1847, when it rains, the southern part of the country, southeastern part of the country is divided from the northern part. All right, and then from the northern part is always divided from the east and the west because of bad road condition. Those things will equate to having lapses in the time. But does that equate to massive fraud or lapses in our election process? Absolutely not. So Mr. Bronsky's claim is not going to be sufficient to have any decision from NEC in his favor. But guess what he's going to do? When he gets that, he's not going to relax now because NEC already made up his mind. He is now going to run to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, of all courts that we know in the country, we have a deadline of January the 18th. So January 18th is supposed to be the inaugural day. I can say for a fact that the Supreme Court is going to tell Mr. Bronsky, based on the next decision, as an institution that we trust to run our election in this country, we deem it unnecessary to move forward with this case, and NEC has to look into itself to determine what can be done to correct the process, which is why I'm always calling for post-election report, because the post-election report will give the next election commissioner the opportunity for improvement, to improve the system. We have an ecosystem in our country, whether it's governmental ecosystem, whether it's the family ecosystem, whether it's a private ecosystem, there will always be margin errors. But those marginal errors can be corrected to prevent further mistakes in the future, which is why I have been calling for post-election report to determine what has gone wrong. And Mr. Bronsky has not been an advocate for these things, but only because he feels that he has aligned himself with the Unity Party that want to create chaos, because they feel in their mind that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is supporting Mr. Weah and the Joel Howard ticket. So they all have supported, they all are supporting him now to go after the Supreme Court in the legal way to derail the peace process, which is unfair to the people of Liberia.
But this is the man that say he doesn't have trust in the election commission. Now, where are we going with this?
They say when the New Year will be good or the Christmas will be good, you can tell from the Eve. He hasn't even gone there yet, but he has already started to cause trouble. Mr. Bronsky is a spoiler. He's a spoiler of peace. He's a spoiler of our political process. He had no good intention for that country, because he hasn't even gone there to test what the Supreme Court is made of. Remember, Mr. Bronsky had a beef. Remember when Harrison Conway was denied by the Election Commission of violating the code of conduct? What did Mr. Bronsky? Yeah, he ran to the Supreme Court and got it well, which is why when NEC was investigating his case, he felt that he was not going to get his chance. So he jumped the gun again and went to the Supreme Court. But this time around, he got a punch in the face and said, you know what? We hold our stay order, go back to NEC and go reconcile with them for you guys to have that hearing. And if that hearing turns away, fine. If it doesn't turn your way, we are here. But again, Tunis, Mr. Bronsky is a spoiler. He's a political manipulator. He's not in the interest of the Liberian people. He and Honorable Borka, I feel sorry for Mr. Borka. This is a man who people claim that he has 42 years record. All right? Do you think for a second that the position that Mr. Borka in, preparing himself for second round, do you think if Bronsky were in that position, know who he is? This is a man who was corporate lawyer for a company in his own county, and he put his county under the bus and supported a corporate organization that was disturbing and inhumanly treating his people. Do you think if he had the opportunity that Mr. Borka is in today, Tunis, do you think he was going to take side with what Mr. Borka was going to do, which he's doing now today? No. Second opinion, fact here. If Mr. Weah had decided to do what Mr. Bronsky is doing today in 2011, what was going to be the response of the Liberian people, Tunis? You tell me. What was going to be the response of the Liberian people?
Before we move further, this is a program that I only bring one expert in our Liberian politics at time, and this is the guest I got here today. We are here to discuss the issue, the response. We are reacting to the response from the Supreme Court today. This morning, the Supreme Court brought up our decisions that the case must go back. The case that Bronsky took to them must go back to Election Commission. So I brought up my brother here, who is MA master degree holder in politics, in environmental something that he knows of, and he introduced himself that way. He also got a little bit of knowledge of politics, so he go into the mind of our politician, and that's the reason why he's here for tonight. And we will not be taking call from nobody else. If you want to hang out with us to know more about Liberian politics, this is what we are here for. And we're not here for 45 minutes. We already spent almost 20, 25 minutes. So let me come back to you, Randy. His name is Randy.
Sure.
I'm Tunis. This is all about Liberia. If you're a Liberian, you can stick around. If you're not, you're interested in Liberia politics, you can stick around. Let me come back to you again. What about Uri involvement into this court case. What is involvement in this?
Well, these are all losers. All of them are losers. And I'm sorry to be so broad with the word loser. They are all losers because you know what? Uri is on record for telling anyone in Liberia who is eligible to vote to never vote or align themselves with anyone who is part of the Unity Party establishment. But guess what? His own faithful media talk show host, who has said all kinds of nasty things about Mr. Borka, is today in the backyard of Mr. Borka talking about how good he is. So what do you expect from Mr. Uri? These are all political parasites that are looking for anywhere or any used body to breathe into. But with the citizen are not like that. CDC remain resolute. CDC is a horse that will always welcome those who deflected, who went AWOL, but they are not going out there to tell you that if you go to join Unity Party, if you go to join ALP, if you go to join ANC, we will not support you. No, CDC always have that open arm to bring back their members. Because you know what? People can go and experience for themselves and they will come back. So what does that tell you about Mr. Uri? The question is, why did he in the first place even establish a political party when he doesn't have a principle for which he stands? He violates the own words that come out of his mouth. He violates those words. So to be true with you, Mr. Uri doesn't have any political ground to stand on. He doesn't have anything to rely on. If you don't have nothing to rely on, you will fall for anything. Which is why now he's aligning himself.
What about Cummins?
Cummins is a disturbed guy. All right? He's a complete disturbed individual. He had the opportunity to make or to break, but he continued to break himself down. He said we cannot keep doing the same thing over and over. But he doesn't understand the political culture of our country.
And getting the same result.
Yeah. So now why has he done? The Liberian people have suffered for 12 years on the UP administration. Mr. Bronsky has done nothing to change anything to make it right. Today he's throwing his support behind these two people. So what does that tell us? He's no different from the diaspora Liberians that go to to go to Liberia just for themselves. This man, all he should have done when he lost the election was to sit on the fence and see what these people are made of. But instead, he joined with them. Now he's part of the supporter group. So ANC, ALP, Unity Party, Liberty Party, call them from today on the supporter. They are all supporters in our country. They don't want to see the country move forward. It's very disheartening to our people.
For those of you who are listening to our program here, this is mainly for a CDC, a sedition. This is a sedition program. You welcome anybody. You can be a Unity Party member. You can be a Cummins supporter. You can be Brunskin supporter. You're welcome to hang out with us. But mainly, this is all about CDC Party, this program here. And I brought this young man here. He's a true sedition, and he's also well knowledge of the Liberian politics. That's why he's here. So you can put any derogative marks you want to. We agree to that.
We welcome that. We welcome that. You know what? We welcome that. You can keep criticizing. As long as you're criticizing, you listen to the program, we welcome that. Because you know what? The truth must be told. These guys have been in the political vanguard for all these years. They have done nothing. Look at George Weah. They were calling the men who are going to disturb the peace. They didn't say that a few months ago that they're going to disturb the peace. Now what happening now, Tunis? They are the one now who are the spoiler, who trying to derail the peace process and don't want our country to move forward. They are the spoiler. They are the spoiler.
What can you tell our Liberian people in the diaspora that what is really going on for them to understand it from your point of view?
Well, our folks in the diaspora, this is what happening here. Every time we advocate that when will Liberia become a better country, this is the opportunity that we have never been able to experience. Even our fathers, our mother, and our grands and our granny have never been able to experience. And that is the transformation of power from one government to another. Many of us have seen it happening in other countries where we reside. This is an opportunity that we supposed to at least believe in, to say, you know what, let me see this piece of opportunity before I die. But Mr. Brunskin, with the DNA from the 1990 days, it had resonated in him. He don't want to see that process. He don't want us to tell our children that we one time saw a transformation of government from one leadership to another. So all we need to do from over here is to condemn his action and let us tell our people back home to trust the decision of NEC. If America can say, you know what, George Bush won the election, Al Gore, you lost the election, Donald Trump won the election, Hillary Clinton, you lost the election, let us trust our system, because our system must improve in order for us to move forward. So that is my message to our people in the diaspora. We must learn to tell our people to trust the decision that come from the authorities and those that are in authority in our country. Flomoyan did it for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Let Mr. Kokoya do it for this round. He had declared 2 winners.
What are some of the changes that you think, if Ambassador Weir became president of Liberia, what are some of the changes you think will be put in place in Liberia?
Well, first of all, we have human capacity issue. We have the issue of corruption. We have the issue of divide and rule, which is why today you're seeing a lot of folks supporting other political parties, even though back in the days they said the political party of the unity government was bad. But it has resulted to 2 parties now, CDC and Unity Party. The divide and rule game, where everybody goes in there for themselves and not for the entire country. Ambassador Weir, when he becomes president, which he will in the not too distant future, right after we get into the runoff election, he's going to win the thing. Is to, number one, to look at the way to break that chain, to break that umbilical cord between people who are depending on some political individual rather than giving them that independent mind. He's going to build a human capacity. He's going to make sure that people merit what they deserve. He's going to make sure that he make our people to love our country more than the very country we live in. That is the mindset. And that dream cannot be realized by Ambassador Weir himself. That dream can be realized by every Liberian who is watching this program now and who want the best for their children. Tunis, every day when I sit here, I see my kids grow up. And when I hear war in the country, people talking about war, want to bring war to Liberia, wherein when they get sick, even their fingernails hurt, they on the plane coming to America or going somewhere else. And you have bulk of people in the country that are not able to get the same opportunity. And then when you hear them talking about, oh, I believe in the justice system, but when something happens, they're ready to take out the plane to leave. Those individuals, like Mr. Bronsky, like Mr. Boyka, like Mr. Alexander Cummings, like Mr. Uri, those people don't have love for that country. This is a man who can tear place. And this is something that he has been consistently being on for 3 successive elections. To see today that, oh, because he didn't win the election, he wants to show that our country can become better. My word to the people of Liberia is he had the opportunity to make it better in 2005. He had the opportunity to make it in 2011. He had the opportunity to make it between 2012 to 2016. He did none of those things, but because he feels that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is on the side of Ambassador Weir, which is untrue, and he knows very well that he is going to be slapped. This man is 66 years old. The next election, he's probably going to be over 70 years old. He will stand no chance. These are all the above reasons why he's fighting the losing battle that he's not going to win, because in weeks to come, the Supreme Court will overturn his decision and will join the population.
After the last election, this is the man that told us that he wasn't going to run again. That was his last chance. But
correct.
Again, when he came back, he said God told him to run. I mean, is this a prophet? With God told him to run, but God didn't tell him that he was not going to win? I mean, can you say something about this? Because really,
well, he's just a con artist. That's who he is. You know, con artists always come back with new tricks to be allowed back into the system. All right? He's a man of no purpose. He's a man of no vision. He doesn't want to build institution. All he wants to do is to build his self-esteem, to seek things for himself and his immediate family. That's who he is. Because if he said that he was not going to be running, he was going back to a farm, what triggered him to come back? Now he's back. Now look what he presented to us. Complete chaos. That's why he's presenting to us. Chaos, chaos, chaos.
What do you
If you say
think?
God,
What do you think Boakai leadership would do to us, we the Liberian?
Boakai is not going to have a leadership. Boakai
I mean,
leadership is being seen now.
if anything happened, we don't know. Let's presume that if he became
Well,
president, what his
well, then
leadership would do to
I
them?
will close my eyes. I will close my eyes to discuss it because it's not going to happen in my life. No, it's not going to happen. So let me close my eyes and discuss that. I'm being very honest with you here, and this is where my analytical skill come up. This man has ran 12 years with the Unity Party, has done nothing. 42 years, he has done nothing but to preach war, fear-mongering politics. It's not going to work. So in his leadership, look what he's doing now in his party. He doesn't have a message for the people of Liberia. He relied on Bronskin to disturb our people's mind, thinking that he's going to get elected. But the more he continues to carry on and support this behavior of Mr. Bronskin, he is sinking himself more deeper to the bottom of this earth where he's going to lose big time. Because this is the time that he's supposed to come out when people are talking about war to say, you know what? We are at war in this country, people. Whoever is preaching war politics, I'm not for it. I want to make sure that the administration that I'm serving now, we want to make sure that where we were not able to get caught up, when we get into the next phase, we will do our best. But Mr. Boakai is silent on everything. He's silent on some of his supporters talking about there will be war. He's silent on the fact that the Unity Party is dragging this thing and he's taking his side with them. He's not being a leader. He doesn't have the stigma. He doesn't have the stamina. This man is a total loser. He's a complete failure to himself, to his family, to the people of Liberia. Therefore, he is not going to be elected. So let's just forget about Boakai. Boakai is just in the race because he has been elected by the little influence that Eddie Johnson said he left with the Unity Party through partisan, which is why he's in this race. But to say that he's going to spy Ambassador Weir, that is going to be in my eye closed dream world, but not in my eyes open reality world, because he's not going nowhere, Tunis. What record does he have to run on now? All right, if you have a better record, you will be talking about your successes. You will be talking about what you have accomplished for this country. This is a man who said he was part like an old car. So we are looking for Jatro to jack that car on our old plane and can junk it. That's all he fit to do. That's all we're looking for right now.
Let's look at Prince Johnson. I mean, before the election, Prince Johnson was bad-mouthing Weir because of some incident took place in Nimba.
Correct.
Between Bronskin Party and the Citizen Party. And
Yes.
he came out bad-mouthing that if Ambassador Weir become president of Liberia, there will be a war. And now we are seeing him on board with Weir. How this gameplay, all of a sudden, he switched to Weir, the man who was bitterly against George Weir and the CDC party, calling them all kinds of names, that they are hoodlum, they are grown-up boys, motorbike boys in the street. They know nothing. They are not educated. If it become president, there will be a war. There will be something. Now he's on board with George Weir. How that happen?
Well, that just politics. All right, that just politics. He was only making those fear mongering. Number one, he's a guy who lived through the war. He's a guy who came to power through making name for himself through the war. So he felt that it was going to resonate with him. Guess what? It didn't resonate. All right? He came where? In the fourth place, I guess. He came in the fourth place. So he had learned a lesson that, look, you can scare the people sometime, but you cannot scare the people all the time, which I really did not support. All right? But here is the thing that I won't take. You know, I gave him 5% of my trust. He's a guy who believes in principle. And if only Mr. Bronskin could live by his own principle that society will appreciate, it will make him a great person. Here's why. Senator Johnson said the reason, and the only reason he's aligning himself with Ambassador Weir is when they went to Ganta, they all, that was Bronskin, Cummings, Ure, Ambassador Weir, and the Johnson himself, they made that commitment that if one of the parties succeeded and come face to face with Unity Party, they will all support that party. So he said he was mongering politics. It failed, but he did not resort to say, you know what, I'm not going to support this guy. Because you know what? All the 19 political parties that were on that platform in the campaign, their goal was to unseat the Unity Party. If that is true to themselves and to the people that supported them, my question is, what if Mr. Ure had won to go to the second round? What if Ellis Cummings, Prince Johnson, Ure have gone to the second round with Unity Party? Were they going to align themselves with the Unity Party and say, take it, we're not going to go for second round? Or were they going to say, you know what, whoever wins, including Ambassador Weah, was he going to support whoever from the opposition party was going to take on Unity Party? I would tell you, say yes. Ambassador Weah are going to do exactly that, because you know what, he's a man who wants to see change in our country. No matter who was going to be the front runner to meet the Unity Party, he was going to support them. But you know what? It only shows that Mr. Cummings, Mr. Ure, Mr. Brunskin, all of these people don't have the country at heart. They claim by their mouth, but by their action, it shows that they don't have that country at heart. So everything that our people have suffered for the past 12 years, Ellis Cummings, Mr. Brunskin, Mr. Ure, they have been fooling us. Not knowing that they appreciate the suffering our people are going through, because they see that as an economic benefit for themselves, which is why they are aligning themselves now with Mr. Boyka of the Unity Party. That is the trick that they are bringing here. Because, Tuna, you tell me, if you've been complaining, like you say, don't vote for anyone who is part of the Unity Party. But here is he today, aligning himself with the Unity Party. Ellis Cummings said, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. Here is he now, aligning himself with the Unity Party. You see my point?
Do you really think that these elections going to go on the second round, or we're going to go for rerun or something like recount? What you're thinking?
There's not going to be no rerun. There's not going to be no rerun. We're going for the runoff. Mr. Brunskin's case will be a lesson learned. It will be a lesson learned that the next election, whatever we have brought up in 2005 and 2011 that was overlooked, what Mr. Brunskin had brought in 2017, those are things that the Election Commission will take as a lesson learned to improve our electoral process. This system is going to go through to the runoff. Nothing going to stop it. Here's why. Reason number one, we had 2 front runners. Reason number 2, we got a deadline to meet. Reason number 3, we don't have the financial means to go and waste our time. Number 4, our country needs to move forward and not to move backward. Brunskin, Ure, Cummings, Boyka, they want our country to go backward. We're not going to go backward. I was in my 20s when I left Liberia. Under the same Brunskin shenanigan. I've been in the country now for over 22 years. I don't want any Liberian to go through that same nonsense that I went through. The future of Liberia belongs to Liberians. Those Liberians that are not opportune to come to this country or travel out of the country, I want to make sure that they get the opportunity, which is why on the sidetrack, I do not support 100% dual citizenship. I support dual citizenship with restriction. Because if I came in this country and benefited here, I want to make sure that Ambassador Weah, when he supported dual citizenship, he should have limitation to it. Any Liberian who is truly educated and qualified for the job in Liberia should be given that opportunity. These are the things that I want to hear Mr. Boyka, Honorable Ure, Ellis Cummings talking about. But guess what? Those guys have been cheering, not in Liberia, but all the country. And only Ambassador Weah is working in the interest of our people to get those things done. I always say this for a fact. People may be criticizing me. Hold on for 1 second before I lost my thought. I always say this. I am supporting Ambassador Weah today. If he does become president, which he will, and he starts to screw up, trust me, I'm a well-qualified person who works for one of the biggest pharmaceutical industry in America. I don't need a job in Liberia. I will come right back here. And if you two does not come to sit with me, I will come back here and start to expose some of the things that I think that Ambassador Weah is not doing for the people of Liberia. Because you know what? I want to make sure that every Liberian who did not have the opportunity to come into this country or other country should be given that opportunity for the change he's advocating for. So the battle between the change that we're advocating for is just starting with me. All I've asked God for is long life, so you guys can see that the very Randy is a very controversial person if things are not going right for him. So the people of Liberia, I am not just here supporting CDC because I have an interest. No, my interest is already here. I already built my career for myself. All I'm advocating for right now is you that in Liberia to get that opportunity. Tuna, do you know when you're 40 years old, you have at least 20 more years to live your life? How many people in Liberia in their 40s, in their 30s are able to say, you know what, I'm going to take my child out on a Saturday to get an ice cream. I'm going to take my child to a private school and see my child go through that private school fence. Now, many people doing that, my brother. Not many people doing that. And then to see Mr. Bronsky, who live in our country, which I don't live now, and see how our people have been strangulated and you continue to suffocate our people. Why? Why? For the sake of power? That's why we should go through this thing? Mr. Bronsky is wrong. He must be able to backtrack. He must relinquish himself from what he pursuing and let the peace process go ahead. If he have an agenda to pursue, let him align himself with Mr. Barker, take his supporters to support Mr. Barker. When they get into the election, if his candidate in his dream wins, then he can bring the idea. But guess what? If Mr. Barker and Mr. Uri and ANC and Mr. Bronsky want their real vision to come to reality, and Ambassador Weah wins, and they bring those things before him, and Ambassador Weah says no, trust me, I will be back here supporting all of them. Because you know what? What benefit one Liberian benefit all Liberians? Our people have suffered for a very long time. Can you imagine you see people in the country begging? In your own country, you begging? God have mercy on us, Tunis. Sorry for interrupting your question.
What do you think that people are complaining so much about in Liberia right now? Like, for instance, probably it could be rural condition, hunger, or currency devaluating. In the first 100 days of George Weah presidency, what do you think he's going to tackle first?
Well, as a political analyst, as a policy and regulatory analyst, I firstly would like to see Ambassador Weah carry on a full-blown audit of every ministry to determine the deficit we have. If we identify the deficit, to have the transparent leadership from the executive mansion, I would like to see Ambassador Weah having a weekly press conference to start. And as long as they get into that rhythm, the next thing now is to make sure that they continue to inform the people. Our people need to be very, very abreast to how he's going to run his government. If Eddie Johnson said he is leaving maybe $2.2 billion or millions of dollars in debt, he needs to declare that. The next thing he needs to do is to reconcile the country. I feel so bad when I see some of my brothers and sisters aligning themselves with politicians. I don't like them. I don't appreciate them. Liberia is all we have. Some people live 30 years old. They don't even have what we have, Tunis, in our country. I could have been one of them. I could have been in our country today, hustling, which is why I'm on the side advocating for them. I have seen these politicians have done nothing for our country. So let us give Ambassador Weah the opportunity. If he screw up, we all can come here and put him on the grill and grill him good. Because you know what? Our democracy is making progress.
There is a question from one of the watcher here saying, Sarah, her name is Sarah Jackson, saying that what made you think that only CDC is the one that can change Liberia? What made you think so?
Yes, CDC is the only party. Guess what? The name Zogos. It was not Ambassador Weah that created the Zogo. The Zogo was those who fought in the war that were chewed out. You know, when you chew a bubble gum, you take the sweet from it, you chew it out. After the war, Mongol came, they created the war in our country. They turned the young guys into Zogos, and they spit them out. When Ambassador Weah came, he was the only man the UN saw that during the war, when he was playing, people listening and want to hear his name. The UN brought him in as a peace ambassador. Eddie Johnson started talking. which is why those kids, they see him based on his foundation of where he came from and decide to align themselves with him. They see a future through them. And guess what? He has stayed in there for almost what? 12 years. He ate with them. He ride with them. He slept with them.
Let me
and
just
everybody
hold you
remain
there for a
consistent.
second, please. Let me just hold you there for a second. For those of you who are listening, this program here is all about CDC, and it's only take one person at a time. We cannot take more than one person. This is Facebook Live. It's not any particular program we are using. We are using Facebook Live, but right now Facebook Live only take one person at a time, so we cannot invite more than one. And right now my guest here is Randy Dapper, who live in the Pennsylvania area. I want him to get into our politician here and give us some sense from there, what they mean, all of what the games that are going on about the players and the Liberian people. So go ahead. Sorry about stopping you.
Yeah, sure. So again, CDC under the leadership of Ambassador, we have become consistent with our plight, the plight of our people. He remained in the struggle. He listened to them. Can you imagine people went there and killed them? That remind me of what happened on the university campus when I was little. West Samuel those sent people to go and kill people at the University of Liberia. The citizen went through that on November the 7th. Ambassador, we did not pack it low and say, you know what, I'm done. The politicians don't want to see no peace in this country. Some of us had done it. We packed our load, we left. But he continued to stay with the people. So he remained consistent. So the people feel that the future is in Ambassador Weir. Even Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has seen it. Robert Sirleaf has seen it. All the popularity and good things that Mr. Sirleaf did. When he went in the contest with Ambassador Weir, he lost. So the people are giving their trust to Ambassador Weir. Is he going to be 100% perfect? I would say no. Does he need our support? Yes. Every Liberian, let us put Ambassador Weir there and test him. If you got an issue, you go to Ambassador Weir, present your issue. Let's see how he's going to handle it. These politicians have failed us. Ambassador Weir continue to be the torchbearer of the Zogos in our country. Why were you calling somebody Zogo when they were not Zogo to begin with? Even the same very man, Mr. Bronsky, have been here talking about Zogos. Hold on,
There is a brother here whose name is Musa Jate.
Okay.
Musa Jate. He's coming here. He says you are tired pushing hour in America, so you are looking for job. My brother, we know you guys.
Look, I'm not here to brag. Today, that's why I said, other people have their comment, all right? You see the way I dress like this? I just came from work, all right? I just came from work. I work in Princeton. I don't know where you know Princeton, but you should do your research on Princeton. I work with one of the top medical device company. If your grandfather's heart is broken and he's about to die, we make the device as an engineer. We make those devices. It's just a generator. When the electric go off in Liberia, the generator kick in. We make those device called pacemaker. We sell them $500 per piece. Liberia cannot afford to buy that. We make those things $500 per piece. And we sell that over the whole world.
But before you explain yourself,
All
my
right?
guests
So
my guests that I bring on my show here, they are well-educated people, well-known people. They know how to get into the mind. They got degrees that some of us don't even have. So let us respect them. They are Liberian.
No,
If you want to say,
Tunis, don't give credence to the people. Let them have their say. This is what democracy is all about.
I told them that you can make any derogatory remark you want to. This is what the show is all about. But we just want you to understand that these people that we bring on the show here, they are not people to play with. They are people who are well knowledgeable.
Let me tell them this story. Anybody that listens to me, go to the Liberian EPA tomorrow and ask for Randy. Your EPA director comes to me every time for advice. They even give me a job. They offer me a job. I turn it down. I bought my Camara when he was at the bank, Central Bank. I have those information. They gave me the job. When I told them how much I'm making here, Eddie O'Pratt from the Labor Ministry, she said, "You making too much money, we can't pay you that money. And I said, okay, if you're paying the people from NOCA $30,000, why you can't pay me how much I'm making? She said, oh, we don't have that money for you. But you know what? I want a job in Liberia because number one, my company will not let me go. My wife will not let me go. I can only become a consultant. Right now, Tunis, I'm working with a company in Germany right now. Let me finish this point. I'm working with a company in Germany that when Ambassador we have become president, I'm going to bring that company to purify every drinking water in every community because you know what? The typhoid fever. You know where the typhoid fever start from? It starts from the very dumper you dump your dirt. The rat, the roaches, crawl on all those things, come to your house, which is why typhoid fever is so high in the country. So when Ambassador we are guests there, my role will be to train people, train health workers, train young adults in school, in colleges, how to become a better Liberian to protect the country. So when it comes to talking about looking for pushing cartoon, trust me, I go to work at 9 a.m. I have a staff meeting every morning. I sit down in my office until I get tired. So just forget about that, my brother. I don't want to brag about that, but since Tune brought it up, I want to say it because you know what? There are many Liberians who don't want to hear what I'm saying. It's very, very bad. I don't believe in that. But it just came up because Tune said that. But when it comes to degree, trust me. Right now, I'm doing my second master now in the pharmaceutical industry. When you live in America, the pharmaceutical industry make money, right? Money.
There's another lady here, Ellen Paul. She said, we, wait a minute, let me see it. Oh man, where's the Ellen woman, man? Okay, right here. She said, you're bringing educated people to your show when CDC don't believe in education. Can you elaborate on that?
No. That's the mindset. That is the mindset. So why are you bringing more criminal? No. It is the politician. It is the boycott. It is the URI. It is the ANC. They all are calling the people Zogos. If I come to Liberia, I'm not going to hang out with the folks. I'm going to West Point. Right now, I'm in contact with many communities that are in deplorable condition. My goal is to make sure that I help. And I can guarantee you, when I come to Liberia, I'm going to go into these communities and I'm going to help people. Because if we as Liberians try to denigrate our own people, then what you expect the Osa man, what you expect the Lebanese man, what you expect the Indian man to say to your people? It could have been me to say, oh, you're not educated. So let us not create a divide between ourselves because the enemy will win. If you see your brother down, give him helping hand. If you see your sister down, give them helping hand. Which is why I pray every day that I must do something to help everyone. If it will come through Ambassador Weah, which I believe it will be, is to come to Liberia, provide services at the University of Liberia, provide community leadership. Take for example, Tunis, we have buildings in our country. What if all the natural disasters happen in the world happen in our country? How many kids in the school know how to escape fire when the school is on fire? How many market women in the market know that when the building is on fire, we'll have an earthquake, when the Minister of Finance is shaking? How do people get out to be safe? How do they know all these things? It's through education. The reason we're not educated because there were some who decided to bring war to our country, who never talk about the future, that this life we're living is a hand over and take over. When you serve your term, you give time to the other to serve. So I don't believe in people not educated. If people are not educated, I will ask myself, but what has the system done that make our people not to be educated? In America here, it's a mandatory requirement that everyone graduate from high school. Why don't we have that in Liberia? Why don't we encourage that in Liberia? But we have some ministers who sit in their car and invite young girls and explore. They say anything about that because they want to use the slavery or economic wealth to keep our people down. I lived in the swamp. I lived in Capitol Shop when I was in Liberia because my parents could not afford it. Which is why when I came here, the opportunity was given to me. I learned to the best of my ability. And I want to make sure that those that don't have that opportunity to come here, they should be given the first preference in Liberia to get that opportunity. Which is why I will always challenge Ambassador Weir that those who are being abroad, let them learn and be able to come back and use their brain and their hands to build our country of Tunis. So let the people have their say. Let them have their say.
There's another person there, Buster T. Heenan Jr. With all the million will Liberian be proud of to show the world. And let me see. He moved on to say, has we invested in Liberia? People keep writing too. Let me just,
just focus on one question and give it to me.
That's what I'm saying. Has we invested in Liberia like his fellow football players in their country?
Let me ask you one question. Eddie is an economist, right? Dr. Tukba Nantipo is a PhD. Amos is a PhD. How many of them have built PhD university in Liberia? Some want to question people's background. All the bookish people who have in Liberia. Why is the University of Liberia like that? Okay. The Bronsky man who is a top lawyer. How many top lawyers do we have? What is the best law school in Liberia? Look, we need to start joking about individualizing things to move our country forward. Ambassador Weir is here with vision. If you see Didier Drogba, you see Matomo, you see Samuel Eto'o, go and do a due diligence or studies as to what their government did to offer them the opportunity to build things. Secondly, look at the time Ambassador Weir was at the plight of making money. What did he do? He was in different refugee camps, helping people. His time of making money at that time is not compared to what Didier Drogba and Samuel Eto'o are making today. Ambassador Weir took most of his wealth to support our people that were in displaced camp. But today, he's back in the country trying to rebuild the country. Those that destroy the country, that said we should level Monrovia, what have they done today to rebuild the country?
Okay,
I'll be back.
We have already spent our time. We were here for 45 minutes, but we have gone up to more than an hour, just a little bit over an hour. Please go to YouTube and check on his campaign rally. But so if you won't mind for us to close, because we can't stay here.
I need to get a case to bear now. So yeah, we can wrap up now.
All right, let me hear your closing statement so that we can close. And before you give your closing statement, this is something that we do here twice a week, Monday and Thursday. We're always here to let you know about the things that CDC is about to do in Liberia and talk about politics in Liberia. This is Tony's show, and my guest here tonight is Randy Dapo. Okay, and tomorrow, if any of you want to join my show, my name is, you have to be a seditian though.
Let them come with open mind.
Exactly. So you can join us. My number is 917. If you want to take the number down, 917-709-2944. You can get in touch with me and I can schedule you so that I can feature you on my show. So let me give my brother a chance to give his.
Three presidents. Amongst them were academicians, businessmen, lawyers, economists, prelates, and others that were typical of the class of conventional politicians. After 170 years of existence as a country, over 70% of the people were still living in slums on less than $1 a day. In their last hope efforts to protest against the dismal performances in history, they elected one of their own that they trust would deliver. In 2016 and announced a 24-hour air, Wings of Liberia, constructed with the help of development partners. The Liberian
the throw of macroeconomic shock.
vice standard bearer of the major opposition Unity Party, after 170 years of existence as a country, over 70% of the people were still living in slums on less than $1 a day. In their last hope efforts to protest against the dismal performances of past leaders and find their own solutions to their misery, they elected one of their own that they trust will deliver. George M. Weir, a former professional footballer who had liberated himself from the squalor of the slum through hard work, discipline, and dedication. His elections as president of Liberia sparked the beginning of the change that Liberians had long hoped for and prompted a huge national celebration.
Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy.
President Weir immediately formed a government of inclusion by unprecedentedly appointing high-ranking figures from major opposition parties to notably include Emmanuel Nukwe, vice standard bearer of the major opposition Unity Party. Through hard work, discipline, and dedication, his elections as president of Liberia sparked the beginning of the change that Liberians had long hoped